Horns up, good morning, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Demonstealer's Indian Metal Podcast.
Did you miss me? Don't lie about it.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast. Did you miss me or did you miss me? Well, this is the second podcast this month as compared to the usual 4, and I'm doing the podcast once in 2 weeks. But if I'm being really honest, this might be the last episode of this podcast. I've been giving it a lot of thought, and I've done this now for 6 months. At the end of this month of April, I will have completed 6 months of doing this podcast. So I'm just thinking out aloud here. This podcast, I understand obviously people do enjoy watching it, but like most things with Indian metal, it seems to be a very dead end perspective. And I find that there's, rather than the podcast growing and becoming more popular and spreading, it's actually sort of come down a little bit and it's sort of stuck between 700 to 800 views each episode, which honestly is not worth the time and effort that it takes to actually put this out. So therefore I am giving it a lot of thought on whether it makes sense to continue this or not. I definitely don't see myself doing this more than a whole year, especially if there's no growth, and I say this because I've run Headbanger's Kitchen, which also is kind of in the same boat, and general discussions about the Indian metal scene seem to all lead down the same path, where we reach a point where the growth is not happening, be it the sale of 500 CDs per band or getting 200 to 300 people on average per club show for metal gigs, or getting 2000 as the cap for international metal bands. We're all just stuck at these numbers, and obviously when I play music there is a different satisfaction there, therefore the music keeps me going. Whereas with a podcast like this, I don't know, the motivation to do it is not there. It doesn't earn you anything, it doesn't really pay back in any way, so I don't see the motivation to keep doing this apart from support the scene, which we all have a different take on. But anyway, that's my view on this entire thing. Please do share your comments with me. I'd love to hear from you and hear what you have to say. But in the news today, Kolkata-based metal band Shrap have announced tour dates for the month of April. You can check out their tour poster and follow them on Facebook. That's quite a number of shows for an Indian band in 1 month. Good going, guys. And David Koch from Rockarola Events in Guwahati has announced that the Wacken Metal Battle will be happening soon. And more than that, he's announced that his company Rockarola Events will be funding 50,000 rupees to the winning band as part of the travel fund. So that's really great news. Again, when you're a 5-member band, that's 2.5 lakhs to travel to Wacken to play, but even one ticket being sponsored is a huge burden lifted off the band's shoulders. So awesome news. Thank you, David. That's a great initiative by you. And that's all the news for now. Some new releases, and Godless from Hyderabad have released their single Infest, which you can listen to on the Rolling Stone website. Links in the description below. Check it out, it's pretty cool. And thrash metalers Narkasur from Bombay have released a new single called Rebuild the State. SoundCloud link is in the description below. Check it out. Time for the weekly videos, and Last Rituals from Pune have released a lyric video for their song called Kal Hasti. Check it out. Democracy from Mumbai have released a song called Immolation of Souls, and there's a video to accompany it as well. Now I'm going to point out again that the recording is really not up to par, and they've done a decent job on the video, but the guitars are not recorded well. I think bands really need to step up their game, and I've been saying this across the previous podcasts as well, and this song particularly hit me that it needs a lot of work production wise. It's not hard these days to get a decent sounding production from your home studio, so guys, up your game, please, for your own good. And metal podcast Centuries of Sin have released a video with their interview with pretty much every band that was supposed to play at Metal Assault in Bangalore. So they've got Sanctum, The Downtroddens, DR, etc, etc. Check out the video. And Against Evil have released a drum playthrough video for their Judas Priest cover of the song Between the Hammer and the Anvil. It's pretty well done, check it out. Anyway, that's all the videos for this week. We'll be back next week with, well, will we be back? We'll find out. But that's all the videos for this week. So it's time for the gig guide, and I'm really happy to say there are lots of gigs happening this month and next month as well. good to see the Indian metal scene at least growing on this front. So on the 17th of April, we have Metal Mania at Hard Rock Cafe in Worli with Abraxas, System House 33, Asylum and Last Ride Home. It's going to be a killer gig for modern metal fans, so do show up if you are a Bantai. Or even if you're not a Bantai and you just want to come and watch a metal gig. See you. On the 30th of April, it's Infernal Festival Part 2 happening in Kochi. A great initiative again, and there are lots of bands playing. Check it out and go attend the gig. And on the 1st of May, there is Domination, the Death Fest happening in New Delhi. This is India's original extreme metal festival. So if you live in Delhi, check it out. The lineup is pretty cool. And on the 7th of May, there is High Voltage happening in Bengaluru with Cryptos and Dying Embrace and a whole bunch of other bands. Don't miss this if you are in Bengaluru. Lots of cool gigs. So that's all for the gig guide this episode. Now it's time to go to the merch corner. So Gutslit has got a lot of their merch back up on sale on their Insta Mojo page. All their previous t-shirt designs like the Brutal Sardar, etc. all up for grabs. Check it out. Eccentric Pendulum has launched a limited edition t-shirt on Transcending Obscurity. Link in the description below. Check it out. It's a non-black t-shirt. So for metalheads who are sick of black, it's time to get yourself some new merch. And Demonic Resurrection canvas shoes are back up on sale and you can order them from revere.in. The link's in the description below. So that's all the merch for this week's Merch Corner. And as always, before I end this podcast, I've got some music to recommend, and it is this classic Indian metal album from Brute Force called Force Fed. This was released back in 2008, I think. So it's quite a cool album. I mean, at that time they were probably the most popular band in Pune. So if you like thrash metal, definitely check this out. You will enjoy this, I think. So anyway, that's all for this episode of the podcast. Like I said, I may or may not do this anymore. Leave me your comments, your suggestions, your thoughts. I don't have any more CDs to give away either. So share this if you like the podcast, I guess. And if you want the news to spread. And well, I guess subscribe to my channel anyway, because I will keep releasing music and other interesting band building videos for sure. And I will see you maybe or maybe not on the next episode of this Indian Metal Podcast. Cheers and keep listening to Indian Metal irrespective of the outcome.